Okay, so this video is for all the people who've ever asked me about color theory. Um, I'm unfortunately I don't have any formal training in color theory, so I don't really know any of the color systems. But then again, that the same could be said for my sense of perspective and whatnot. I know even less about color than I do about perspective. But if you're in a real hurry of just trying to learn how to color something quickly, you could go to colorlovers.com, which is COLOURLOVERS.com. They have a lot of really, really nice color schemes. You can browse through their homepage, through their front page, and just look at different patterns and palettes and colors. And they also have some tools. They have the Copazzo tool, which lets you do some pretty neat color scheming. And this is something that I've used a lot in the past. But anyway, so this thing, basically lets you choose all your colors. I'll get back to this in a second. But for those of you who are still here, so let's look at this character, which I'd drawn up in a previous video. And, I haven't applied any colors, and I'll show you kind of, this is the color scheme that I wind up seeing a lot of beginners, myself included, would sometimes do, is suddenly we just kind of throw all these different colors of the rainbow all on there, and in the end it kind of really hurts. When I look at it, it really hurts my eyes, and I kind of can't stand I can't stand seeing colors that are all like this. So the problem with these colors is that they're all they're very, very bright. They're all very bright, and they're all very saturated, and they're all very different. So there's too many different colors, all around the hue wheel. And it's really hard to look at. It's really harsh. So what can we do to save this? Well, I've made a whole bunch of these color palettes. So here's one thing we can do, right? We can knock all the colors down. We can just take the values, bring all the values up, and also that look how dark that blue looks in comparison to everything else. Even though if I were to say bring up the eyedropper tool, right? You'll see that the luminance is at maybe midway here, right? But if I try that one, right, the luminance is still at the same. So even though, look at this cyan color, right? It's still saying that the luminance is like dead center. It's like 128. All these have the luminance of 128, which is completely bonkers. When you look at this, the blue just seems so much darker than many of these other colors, and so the thing is even though they're all the same luminance, even though the color palette's telling you it's the same luminance, you really can't trust it. The only thing you can really trust is your eyes. So if your eyes are telling you that thing's darker, that's the kind of luminance that matters, not whatever number that color palette's telling you. Okay, so what I've done here is I've gone and I've made everything more or less similar values, and by similar, I don't mean numerically similar, I mean similar in terms of how your eyes perceive it. I've taken the saturations way down. There's still, this is still a cyan, that's still a blue. I haven't really messed with the hues very much, and I've just made everything pastel. So yes, you can use colors all the way around on the rainbow if you want to, but just, mute them. Turn things down, and you can still use all the colors you want. It's just it's not only the colors of pure green, pure yellow, pure red, white, black, blue, 50% gray. There's more colors than just the primaries and the secondaries, black, white, and gray. It's more. There's more than that. We can take this. We can also take these colors and we can knock them. We can take the values and knock them all down. Right, so it's still green. The hair is still green here, right? We still got a green going on here. We still got a pink going on here, except it's a very deep, desaturated, pink. That's still cyan, right? That's still registering as cyan. That's still registering as blue, and that's still yellow, right? But I've just knocked everything all the way down, and now it's so much easier to look at. It no longer looks like a TV test pattern. Okay, so that's the thing. It's just, trust your eyes, or learn what hurts your eyes, and if your eyes are hurting you, just maybe that's kind of a good signal that take things back. What else can we do? So this another thing that I've done is you could also take all the colors that you see and make them more or less on the same side of the color wheel. So if you look at this, right, this is in the blue, right, this is in the purple, this is kind of in the pink and red, right, that's also blue, you know, and only the accents, only these little pieces are left white, right? So, you know, you'll notice that on the color wheel, I'm only using this small, you know, little narrow range, right? And in terms of values, everything's kind of hovering around the same area, right? So you can just kind of see on this little strip of colors on the side, right, just sort of, you know, how the colors are being distributed over the figure. All right, so whenever I use that Copazzo tool like this, right, all I'm doing is I'm doing pretty much the same thing. I'm just choosing my colors, right, and it's the only difference is that it's sideways, right. So, you know, I'm moving my colors around and I choose my colors, and then I turn the whole thing, you know, sideways like this, and this is generally how I pick my colors. In this case, what I've done is I've taken some time out to kind of mask everything off into separate layers and adjust the colors. But now you can, you know, really see, you can really adjust things and you can kind of see how, you know, things work out. So, you know, let's see what else we can do. You know, you can completely get rid of all the colors, right? Now it's devoid of colors. You know, it's all just black and white. But you'll notice that, you know, again, it's most of it is all, you know, all in the dark end of things, right? It's even though it's black and white, the values are all kind of hovering around the same, you know, low end, and only the accent, only this little tiny piece, right, is white, right? So proportion of color is a big factor, right? It's a huge factor in how things look. So any kind of strong color, pure white, pure black, pure green, pure red, cyan, any of the secondary, you know, primaries and secondaries, any of these really hard colors, you can still use them. You're not forbidden from using them. Just use them in small amounts. You're building a recipe, all right? And recipe, you know, you don't use the strong flavors. You don't use the strong herbs and spices, you know, and too much. Otherwise, like, if you have too much, then it just becomes unpalatable. It does not taste good. So, you know, here's something else you can do. In this case, I've taken I've changed the accent to primary red, and I actually kind of don't like it. I don't know. It's like I've got the spidey sense that goes off that says, you know, I don't know. I don't love seeing pure red, but, you know, I could make it. It's not pure pink either, right? This color that you're seeing here, this is like pure. Look at that. Okay, if you look at the color picker, I'll read it out. The red's 255, green's 1, and the blue is 179. So the blue is not all the way up. It's not pure magenta, right? This is kind of a fuchsia color. I've just taken the hue, right, and I've just bumped it from red slightly close, you know, a little bit of the way over to pink, but not all the way, right? And I just find that looks pretty sharp. That looks pretty good, right? Or you know, again, fuchsia is this is an example of a really strong color. Fuchsia is an example of a really strong color. But if you use it in small quantities, it looks great. You know, black, white, fuchsia, really sharp color scheme. That I think, you know, you just find, you know, there's only 3 colors, maybe 5 colors total if you include the hair and the skin. So, you know, I don't use that many different colors, and if I do use a lot of colors, you know, they're all more or less within the same kind of neighborhood of one another, except for the accent. The accent can be the outlier. That one can be different. What else do we have? You know, again, if I make everything kind of monotone, like white, and then only the accent's different, I don't know. I kind of don't feel that this is as nice. Like this, I feel is sharper than this one. This is why I made a whole bunch of color schemes. Yeah, right. So I would always suggest, you know, make a wide range of color schemes. Find the ones that you like. What else do we have? Oh, right. And anyway, here, you're probably going to recognize this color scheme. You know, so anyway, it's like, here's, again, one of the mistakes that I see is that when people approach this color scheme, you know, this is pure yellow. This is red 255, green 255, blue 0, right? That's pure yellow. This is pure green. That's pure green. You know, like this is all of these. If you look at that, the saturation's at 255. You know, it's just everything is smack dab at hue 120, right? Hue 120 is like that's like green, right? Okay, so don't. It doesn't look great because here, if I just shift it over a bit, right? Look at that. I just, you know, this is the difference. This is the pure green. That's a slightly shifted stuff. And all I've done is I've just added a little bit of red. I've shifted things slightly closer to yellow. And if you look at, you know, photographs of plants and leaves and that kind of thing, right? So if I bring up images.google.ca and I do a search for, I don't know, let's look for plants, or maybe what I should look for is leaves in sunlight. Yeah, leaves and sunlight. Let's see. Look at that. Okay, so look at that. All of these leaves, they kind of have this yellowish kind of tinge to them. And if you ever look at leaves in autumn, right, they turn red, they turn yellow. What's happening is that the leaves don't turn yellow, they don't turn red. They've always been yellow and red all along. It's only the chlorophyll, that green substance in them that helps them photosynthesize light into sugars and energy. That is what is being removed from the leaves when it's autumn, and it draws the chlorophyll out, and it leaves behind a yellow or red leaf. So you can really tell when the light's shining through it that you get this kind of a yellowish tinge to it. And the leaves' natural colors like that. So if you're going for those leafy colors, right, don't go for just pure green. You need some of those yellows in there. That will really help it. What else can we do? Again, I'm taking the values, right? These values are really, really bright. They're kind of a little bit blasting on the eye. They kind of hurt the eye. Just take them down, and it looks a lot nicer. Even the accent, right? Like just for comparison, right? You see, I take the accent down. Even the hair color as well, right? I take that hair color, and I've made it more, a little bit more kind of a golden color. I've brought it closer to red. It's kind of sitting in orange, and that looks to me a lot more natural. It feels more like cloth. It's not so radioactive and green. So anyway, I should probably go over how to come up with color schemes. So I guess what I could do is I can pick maybe a dominant color. So I'll go to my shirt layer, and I'll just, let's see, let's turn on this preview thing. Oh, well, I happen to be on the yellow right now. Well, you know what? I could probably let's go with that. I'm just going to apply the stack on that, and let's head over to the skirt color. Actually, you know what? We could probably, like, given the fact that I've already started with this dark gray, kind of as the neutral color. I mean, it's already looking kind of like a bumblebee or a taxi cab. That's something to kind of be aware of. Is just knowing when you see like a color. If you see a color scheme forming, don't fight it. Just go along with it, and just enjoy it. Let's see. Let's go back to that accent, and fine. Hang on. Let's turn that down and apply that to the accent. That's looking, rather sharp. That's looking pretty good. And then I guess I could go to the leggings, and let's turn that back on. So I could do that, right? Keep it black, or even go even darker. Or maybe we can try a white. White does not look bad either, right? So it's like, here, let's see. Let's put that down to black and apply that. We'll go back to the accent layer. And let's see. Let's turn that up. Right? So, I mean, black, white, yellow looks pretty sharp, right? That looks really nice. Back to the hair layer. Let's turn that on. The white works. That looks really sharp. That looks really good. The black also looks very good. The gray, not bad. What can we do, right? Maybe I can. I don't know. I'm gonna just experiment a bit, right? That. Oh wow. That works. So again, it's just you kind of pick a bit of a dominant color. The proportions of the color really makes a huge difference. Let's apply that. That looks really good. Man, okay, so let's try another one. Here, I'll do 3 of these. So, okay, I did one. Here, let's do another one. This time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just take that saturation. I'm just going to knock all the layers back to a gray, just so we can kind of start from ground zero. Okay, and so, all right, so everything's back to ground zero, and I'll go right back to that. Maybe this time I'll start with the, we'll start with the leggings. Okay, so let's pick a color again. Maybe what you can do is you can also try. All right, let's make a horrible green. All right, so it's horrible, and maybe what we can do is try salvaging it. Okay, so there, horrible green. Actually, I'll make it the pure horrible green. Okay, so now let's see what colors can we use that will salvage the horrible green. I don't know. So I really, that's the thing is you never know. Okay, so let's see. The green, that probably won't work. I think I'll probably wind up spending most of my time um, choosing colors that are really knocked back, or maybe, let's see. You know what? The thing is this, is that I think we can use that horrible green, just not large amounts of it. Because again, the leggings are fairly, look at the amount of surface area that those leggings have. It's a lot. So you know what? I'm going to bail out on this one. I'm going to, let's put that to black. Let's choose a different horrible, let's find, maybe we can put the horrible green on a different, on the accent layer. Okay, so let's put it on the accent, and let's see what else we can do. Even that looks kind of interesting already. You know, just having the black and the gray, and let's see what we can do with the hair. Except no, I don't want to do that. Well, you know, not well. That's actually looking okay again, right? So this looks pretty good for you know, if you're doing, I guess, a mascot for a company. You know, like this is possible. You know, maybe I could. I have this sudden urge to spin leaks. You know, so there you go, right? Like you could do that, right? So I mean, we've got Hatsune Miku colors. Let's see what else we can work with. So I mean, we have that one. Let's try here. Okay, I'm going to knock the colors back down again. So I'm just going to apply that to the hair and apply that to the accent color. I've been using black leggings on the last two, so let's try something else on the leggings. Maybe I'll find something else. I'm gonna try. How about that? Let's just. I'm gonna mute that back, so it's not pure red on those leggings. But you know, already it's like the moment I see that color, I'm like, okay, we're off to a good start. Let's see what else we can do. So you know, I could probably brighten that up. You know, or I could go darker. No, it somehow looks better bright, you know. Again, it's just got to pay attention to that spidey sense of yours, and maybe the whole thing will be monochromatic. I don't know. Let's try that. Let's brighten that up. Yeah, it's looking okay. It's maybe just a little bright, you know. But let's see what else we can do. Maybe I can turn it down. Oh, that looks okay. Making it white. Well, it looks very sharp. You know, I kind of like that. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to reverse this. I'm going to apply the white to the skirt, and then to the shirt I'm going to apply the red. So let's take that down a bit. Not bad, pretty sharp. And then back to the accent color. Let's turn that on. Yeah, it's okay. That's kind of sharp. It's not bad. Going with white and just getting rid of the accent, it's a possibility, right? We can do that. You know, this is all about just being flexible and just going with it. You know, the pink fuchsia's not bad. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to just leave that alone for a bit. I'm going to go back to the. Well, that looks okay, right? So again, it's just be willing to experiment and try things out. You know, the white looks really sharp. Okay, so white on those two things. Let's go back to the accent layer again. That looks okay. So in this case, I'm only using two colors. It's just two-tone, right? So two-tone works. White, black, red. That looks pretty nice. Feeling kind of patriotic. You could do that. So yeah, there are many things you can do with the color. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that when it comes to color theory, I don't believe in things being, you know, like it's not very clear cut, but you know, there are a few kind of guidelines you can go with. That looks all right as well, right? There's a few guidelines that you can go with, and really I'd say just experiment. You just have to experiment and work with the proportions, and you know, work with we totally forgot to color the hair, but you know, also work with oops, okay. You gotta, you know, just play around. You have to play around. That actually looks really good. You know, that's very sharp. I think that's that could work, right? That could work right there. What else could we use? Yes, that works. Right. So yeah, so that's the thing about color schemes. It's just you have to play around and find hues. Either keep your hues close together, or keep your saturations low, or keep your values close together. And if there's anything that's really really strong, keep it as the outlier. So I'll just kind of show you there. Okay, so you don't have to color like this anymore, right? There are ways around it. These are many different ways of dealing with it. And so definitely, once again, I say head over to colorlovers.com, and you can totally experiment with these different colors in color schemes. Lots of stuff to look at. Look at what's you can find things that are popular. You can click fashion for fashion palettes. They've got home for, I guess, interior. These are good interior design colors. Wow, they even have wedding colors, print colors, craft colors, business colors. So yeah, pretty darn neat stuff. I highly recommend you visit colorlovers.com just to get some ideas and to expand that mental color palette in your head.